The onions, I look around for you, my sweet, sweet old someone, coming through that door. It's Saturday and the band is playing. Honey, could we ask for more? Hello everybody on a Saturday night. Welcome to a live broadcast of the Yeoman Home Radio Show. Coming to you from WBLT, your friendly neighborhood station in the middle school theater at Ivan Rest, Granville. With all your fans, the Musing Sisters are here. Rhonda, Wanda, Yolanda, and Eunice. The old trail hands, Dusty and Lefty, the Dapper Dan All-Star Band, and many more. Brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits in the big blue box. Made from whole grains that give shy persons the strength to get up and do what needs to be done. Brought to you by Ketchup, full of mellowing agents homegrown in Michigan gardens, folks. Brought to you by the Professional Organization of English Majors, loving words and choosing poverty. And finally, brought to you by Bebop Bebop Rhubarb Pie. Rhubarb! It's the secret of the good life. It's Saturday and the band is playing. Honey, could we ask for more?
This portion of the show is brought to you by Bebop Bebop Rhubarb Pie.
You graduated in June with a BA in English, and ever since you've been sending out your resume, hundreds of them, applying for jobs in marketing communications.
Oh, please, 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 please.
Meanwhile, you work as a clerk at a novelty shop, selling joy buzzers and whoopee cushions, and boxer shorts covered with valentines that say,
Love instructor, first lesson free.
Oh, that's cute.
Then, one day, it's the Chrome Tech Corporation.
Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock? Of course.
They want you to interview for a job.
Assistant vice president? Gosh.
The job of a lifetime.
A great salary.
Great health and dental care benefits.
I get my teeth cleaned by a trained professional?
So, you set 4 alarms for 6 o'clock, and somehow none of them go off, and it's 8:30.
Oh, no.
You throw on some clothes, and you dash out the door and jump in the car. The freeway is all backed up.
Oh, come on.
You have to drive along the shoulder.
Oh, shut up.
And in the ditch. But you make it to the Chrome Tech building, and...
yeah, excuse me.
The first elevator is full, but you squeeze on.
Excuse me.
And up you go to the 20th floor.
Yes, hello. Hi, I'm here for my appointment with Mr. Williger. Yes. Sorry I'm late. My cat died.
You're not late. You're a half an hour early.
Oh, right.
You sit down on a big, beautiful white sofa and...
Coffee, sir?
And you know you should say no, but...
Thanks.
And a moment later...
Oh, no.
And there's a coffee stain the size of New Hampshire. Quickly, you turn the cushion over, only to look down and see a coffee stain on your pants in a bad place.
Oh, no.
You dash down the hall to the bathroom and wet a paper towel and rub out the stain. Then you take off your pants and hold them under the dryer, but it's not working, so you decide to shake them.
Hey, the sun is shining.
You open the window and you lean out, and you shake your pants, and then you lose your grip.
Oh, no.
And down they go. 20 stories to a courtyard and fall on a guy in a blue suit.
Hey, watch it.
Suddenly, someone comes in the men's room. Quickly, you slip into a stall and stand there waiting. The other guy stands there, not moving, and you sense he's looking at your bare ankles, so you feel you ought to explain.
My pants fell out the window.
And away he goes. And you think,
Maybe I could sort of take my shirt and make it into a pair of pants
and just then,
Okay, mister, security, come on out.
Oh, no.
you step out,
I can explain.
and you look down, and it's your novelty boxer shorts.
Oh, no.
Love instructor, first lesson free? Interesting.
The receptionist comes in.
He spilled coffee on the sofa, too. At least I hope it's coffee. Ew.
Wouldn't this be a good time for some rhubarb pie? Yes. Nothing gets the taste of humiliation out of your mouth like a piece of bebop rhubarb pie. One little thing can revive a guy, and that is homemade rhubarb pie. Serve it up, nice and hot. Maybe things aren't as bad as you thought. Mama's little baby loves rhubarb, bebop, rhubarb pie. Mama's little baby loves rhubarb, bebop, rhubarb pie. Rhubarb pie. Come on, everybody. Let's give it up for the Dapper Dan All-Star Band. Joy, you've been leading the Dapper Dan All-Star Band for a while now, but your name is not Dan. Is anyone in your band named Dan? Oh. Tell us a little bit about your band's name.
Well, it all has to do with Luke's hair product.
Oh.
Some people wonder how Luke on the bass gets such perfect hair. Luke, tell him your secret.
Well, I owe all of my hair success to Dapper Dan hair pomade. It gives my hair that greasy shine that all the ladies love.
Well, I just got word that we are sold out tonight. So, all 80 of us, I know. So let's go ahead and start the music for the next set. It's time to go back to a time when cowboys weren't just sponsors of hair cream. Maggie, could you take us back to that time?
Lives of the Cowboys, brought to you by Butte Brand Facial Scrub. Riding the range and sleeping on the ground is no reason to suffer from clogged pores. Rinse impurities away with Butte Facial Scrub. Available in mainly mesquite and cactus cream. And now, let's join Dusty and Lefty for today's exciting adventure.
Hey, Dusty, you take a head count on the herd?
Yep, they're all here, all 10,000. Never thought I'd see the day we'd be driving a herd of free-range chicken. Just glad my pals ain't here to see me in my hour of shame.
Oh, yeah. Gotta give to the people what they want, Dusty.
Whoopie-tie-yo, get along, little pullet.
10,000 head of coop-free chickens.
Ain't either poop-free, it's that on your boot. I ain't boot polished.
I said coop-free, Dusty. Cheer up, we're almost there. We'll collect our check, we'll take a hot bath and scrape our boots, and nobody will ever know.
Here's the sign right here. Welcome to Butte, Montana. Population that's for us to know, for you to find out.
Tough town, apparently. And there's the place we're delivering the chickens.
Whoa. Copper Casserole Cafe. Home of the free-range barbecue chicken and the Radichico pizza, whatever that is.
Easy there.
I'll head around back and bring the chickens. You go on and get the chicken. Get it.
Welcome to the Copper Casserole Cafe. My name is Cheryl, and you like a seat by the window or the waterfall?
I'm just here delivering 10,000 chickens, ma'am. I believe you have a check for me?
Are these free-range chickens, mister?
About as free as they can be and arrive on time in one group.
You haven't interfered with them in any unnatural ways?
No, ma'am.
And the feed, was that organic?
Didn't taste it myself, but sure did look organic.
Very well. I'll go get your check. Would you like to have a seat while you wait?
Wouldn't mind. Kind of a nice place. Surprised to find it in a mining town.
Got the chickens all settled in. Well, sort of. I promised them you were good at noon in a couple of minutes.
Okay. You want to sit by the window or the waterfall?
Waterfall.
All right, this way.
She's gonna get us our check and give us some supper, Dusty. And then we can find a place to bed down for the night.
Sounds good.
All right, this table okay for you?
Would you mind taking these candles away?
The candles?
The candles make him nervous. Makes him feel like someone's about to sing. Thank you.
And here are your menus.
Thank you.
Wine list is on the back.
Thanks.
We have 2 specials not on the menu. We have blackened whitefish with Julian shiitake mushrooms. And we have artichoke hearts on a bed of basmati rice. Or we have grilled scallops on penne pasta and a dill sauce. Any questions?
You got any wieners?
Well, what kind of wieners?
Any kind.
If we do have them, how would you like them done?
Boiled.
Would you like that on sourdough or fricassee bread?
Just plain bun.
White or whole wheat?
White.
And we have lime mayonnaise or Dijon papon, and or for sides we have mango spice chutney or arugula walnut slaw. Or we have deep fried squid.
Squid? Squid? I'd rather suck on an auto part.
And how about you, sir? Do you see anything on the menu that interests you?
Sure do, ma'am. I'm looking at her.
I make it a point to have a steak bone with chicken poop on their boots. I'm really sorry.
I can take care of that. If you don't mind my asking, what's a beauty like you doing in Butte, Montana?
Well, actually, I'm an actress.
You know, I thought you were. I could tell by the vivacity of your facial expressions.
Well, I'm here to do musical. Stephen Sondheim's Riding to the Bronx.
I didn't know Sondheim did westerns.
Not those Bronx, the ones in New York.
Oh. What's going on in Butte, lady? Indoor waterfalls, mine mayonnaise, Stephen Sondheim. You know, this used to be a rough town.
Well, when the price of copper hit bottom, they woke up to the smell of latte. And now they're trying to make Butte attractive to Californians.
Mining town. The giant pit in the middle of it.
A mile-wide copper pit half full of polluted acidic water.
They think they can convince Californians that that pit is the world's largest natural resource of vinaigrette dressing.
Well, I'll be jiggered. What time do you get off of work, miss? I promised to clean my boots.
Well, I get off at 10. But I can't stay long. I have rehearsal.
Good night, Jerry. Good night, Judge. Good night, Pit, full of copper sludge. Good night, Slim. And good night, Buck. Good night, dogs in the pickup truck.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good night, Dynamite. Good night, Gun. Good night, Moon. And good night, Sun. No, I'm not going to read that again. Oh, okay, sweet dreams, little chickens. They're all tuckered out from the long drive.
Well, would you like to go for a walk?
No, I'd like to just sit here in the moonlight with you.
Then would you like a glass of wine?
I believe I have a bottle of whiskey in my saddlebag.
All right then, well, let me take a look. Well, I don't see a bottle in here, but I do see a book.
Let me have that.
What is this? The Karen Cowboy, Redefining Toughness, Seeking Stronger Relationships. Is this your book, Lefty?
Yes, it is, Cheryl. Now, don't tell nobody.
And it's got a lot of underlined passages here. What is this one? Allow yourself to embrace the little buckaroo within you and tap into your unlimited potential for whimsy and wistfulness.
You know, there's a little buckaroo within me that wants to kiss you right now, Miss Cheryl.
Hey, Angel Lips. You out there? Cheryl?
Well, who's that?
It's my director, Rocco.
We got rehearsal in 15 minutes. Angel Lips, you out there?
I'd really better go. We open in 2 nights and I can't.
But it's all a scam.
But it's still a job.
Come with me.
Come with you. Where, Lefty?
Anywhere you want to go.
Hey, who's this out here whispering in the bushes? Who's this, Angel?
It's fine, Rocco.
You're not from around here, are you, mister?
That's right.
Then I think it might behoove you to watch yourself, eh?
You think it would behoove me, huh?
If I was you, I'd be behooved.
Hey, isn't that Robert Redford over there?
Don't try and pull that old Robert Redford trick with me.
Uh-oh. Oh!
If I ever catch you round here again, cowboy, you're gonna be riding mighty low in the saddle you catch my dear.
Consider it caught.
Come on, Angel.
Let's go, partner. Find ourselves a hotel.
Yeah, I was just sitting here waiting for you.
You good?
I'm fine.
Why you been over like that?
I'm looking for agates.
Well, then let's find a place for the night.
There's a nice bed and breakfast next door.
Not interested in a place where they fold toilet paper into a little V and put chocolate truffles on your pillow.
Then I'll have your truffle.
I want a W&W. Whiskey and women. Is this your book on the ground?
Nope.
It looks like your book.
It's not.
You sure about that?
I'm sure.
Are you completely sure?
I will remember the book that says Karen Cowboy, Seeking Stronger Relationships and Redefining Toughness.
How did you know the whole title?
Well, let's just keep it moving here.
Fine, then.
Lives of the Cowboys, brought to you by Butte Facial Scrub.
Whoa, wow. Wow, wow. Whoa, wow. Wow, wow. Whoa, wow. I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world below. There's no sickness, no toil or danger in that bright land to which I go. And I'm going there to see my father. And I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. And I know dark clouds will gather around me. And I know my way is dark and steep. Those beauteous fields arise before me. In the Lord, their Virgil's keep. And I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. So I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. Jack Lanning times 5, ladies and gentlemen. Now that's impressive. We now welcome up Ellie and Dylan to deliver us the news from Yeoman High.
Well, it's been a pretty uneventful year this year at Yeoman High, my hometown high school out there in Banks Rapids. Winter seemed to come early this year, and the cold weather stayed late. This cold, bitter presence of winter forced students to remain indoors, locked up. This caused a restlessness and rambunctiousness amongst the students, according to Miss Disdain anyway. And maybe it was this pent-up desire of freedom that was slowly being released as restlessness and rambunctiousness that caused the one exciting event of the winter.
A group of senior boys wanting to take part in outdoor activities, yet feeling it was too cold to go outside, decided to bring the outdoors inside where it was warm. Now, during lunch, about 20 of them sneaked into the school kitchen and each borrowed a cookie sheet. Now, don't picture a 9 by 13 or even a 12 by 18 cookie sheet. No. These were industrial-sized cookie sheets, the kind you use when you cook with convection ovens.
Well, this group of 20 instigators all took their cookie sheets outside and began to pile snow on top of them. Then they brought them back outside for another load. Then they mounted in the hallway till had about 6 inches of snow on it. Then they lined up at the end of the hallway, ran on their convection oven cookie sheet sleds. They zoomed down the hallway,
Past the gym door.
past the bathroom door,
Past Mr. A's door.
and some
The convection cookie sheet Hall of Fame few.
made it all the way down to Miss Disdain's room.
You can imagine that the fun didn't last for long.
Soon, the adventure caused such a scene, such a row in the school, that those responsible were taken to the principal's office.
And the fun, excuse the pun, quickly melted.
The punishment? 20 hours of school community service each.
But for those 5 exciting minutes, that one zoom of freedom down hallways of confinement, it may have been worth it.
Well, other than this one event, like I said before, it was a pretty uneventful winter. But soon things began to change. New excitement filled the school. It was February, and the spring dance was... This was the big one.
Bigger than the twerp dance.
Even bigger than the homecoming dance.
This was the Spring Valentine's Day Banquet Dance. During the weeks prior to this dance, the students looked, acted, dressed, and smelled their best.
Even Stinky McGreen showered daily for weeks before the dance.
Expensive fragrances from
The Yap,
the Muckle,
Mess,
Bambi, Zombie,
and Itch
filled the hallways and rooms, causing a smell, sometimes repugnant, of synthetic flowers being mixed with synthetic fruits.
During the desperation days just prior to the dance, students would get down at their knees at night, begging and pleading, willing to exchange a month of constant pimples, or 10 swirlies from Omar, the 5th-year senior.
For one simple date to the dance.
He or she didn't even have to be that good looking.
Anyone would do. But to not show up at the dance, or worse, show up alone, was the lowest form of humiliation. Better to wet your pants while waiting in line for the bathroom.
In fact, it's better if someone else wets your pants than to not have a date for the Spring Valentine's Day Banquet Dance. Well, the dance was scheduled for Friday, and it was the Wednesday of the week of the dance, and Pistis did not yet have a date. Snicker at his name, if you will. But he has heard them all before. One of the school favorites given to him by Omar, one of those people who is only creative in the ways of cruelty, is...
If you missed us when you pissed us, please be neat and wipe the seat.
Pistis actually had a very symbolic name. He held the name of his grandfather, a stoutly conservative Lutheran pastor of the First Lutheran Church of Yeoman City. So, first, he held the name of his grandfather, and second, his name actually meant faith in Greek.
With 2 days left before the dance, Pistis looked around himself at the scene.
The scene of piranhas, the scene of high schoolers. True desperation set in.
Panic!
Those few still dateless trying to find each other in a large assured group where most had, ominously trying to connect.
Like magnets through sand.
Pistis felt this tearing agony inside himself, this desire to not be alone in the season of togetherness. Yet he remained calm and composed on the inside.
For there was only one girl he was interested in, and she was still available. He had just been putting off asking her because he was too shy.
For in the high school social rankings, he clearly had to look up to see her. She was, however, still available, this goddess from above. In fact, it was as if she was waiting for someone in particular, for others had been discouraged by her.
Her name was Hope, and Pistis had been smitten with her since the beginning of the year. They didn't talk often, even though they shared Mr. Young D's British literature class 3rd hour. Pistis found the class boring.
But not Hope. She loved the beauty of the language, and especially now they are studying Shakespeare and the Shakespearean sonnets.
Well, Wednesday ended.
And Thursday began. 1st hour, 2nd hour, then British literature.
Pistis zoned out like usual.
But then, with about 10 minutes left in the class, inspiration had hit.
Pistis knew how he was going to ask Hope to the dance.
The bell rang and the rest of the day flew by. Pistis raced home in his 1984 baby blue Ford Escort hatchback with 217,000 miles on it. He pulled into his driveway, ran up the stairs, closed his door, sat down at the desk, and pulled out a blank piece of paper.
He knew that the only way to get Hope to say yes was to risk it, to try something. And he was going to try to write her a Shakespearean sonnet that even Shakespeare himself would be jealous of.
He sat for about an hour looking at the paper.
And then he decided he needed a break. He got up and played himself in a couple games of Nerf basketball, pretending he was the star player on both teams. He won most of the games.
Then a call for supper.
Then a few chores.
And by the time he got back to his desk, it was about 7 p.m.
The paper was still blank. For some reason, he thought it wouldn't be.
There it was in front of him. Tabula rasa, blank slate. Both the conduit of his love message to hope and his greatest enemy, woven together in a single piece of at least 87% recycled paper.
Hours passed and nothing. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, and nothing. Finally, Pistis went to bed, discouraged. He and turning. He couldn't sleep.
He watched the clock turn 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Then it happened.
Pistis ran out of bed and ran to his desk. He turned on the light and began to write. The message flowed from his heart to his mind, down his arm, into his hand, and onto the paper. The rhythms of the iambic pentameter were bouncing in tune with his heart.
Unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed.
When in my days your beauteous face I meet, my heart begins to sink and I do moan. At night I dream of you when I'm asleep, and wake to find again that I'm alone. When from afar I hear your siren voice, my heart leaps up and thinks your calls for me. My soul begins to leap and I rejoice, but then you turn and I am lost at sea. If you doubt that my love for you is real, then take a knife and cut open my heart. Be careful though, the pain there you might feel, for you alone there in that part. With these 2 lines, my plea and rhyme are done. Now you decide if faith and hope are one.
Dear Hope, muse of my writing, I know you like Shakespeare. I hope you like this. If you would so honor me as to be my date for the Spring Valentine's Day Banquet Dance. Then meet me there at 6:30, carrying a single red rose, and I will do the same. Your affectionate, secret admirer, Mr. Faith.
It was finished.
It had 3 quatrains.
It had a couplet. It was perfect. Pistis went to bed anticipating the day that would begin in a few hours. When morning broke, he did the routine and was off to school. He hadn't yet thought about how to give the love message to Hope. Surely he had to make sure that she was still available.
During the 3rd hour, he got up the courage to casually ask her if she had plans to go to the dance with anyone. She graciously responded by saying,
No, not yet.
Now, later that hour, he slowly slid the letter into her school bag behind her desk.
He had done it.
There was no taking it back now.
And with it came all the joys or pains that this might bring.
Well, the bell rang and Pistis bounced out of his seat, filled with nervous joy.
He had 4th hour history class with Miss Disdain. He entered the room and saw the students with their heads down, studying their tests, cramming for the big test.
Pistis had totally forgotten about the test the night before.
He was too busy trying to write that sonnet. Somewhere from inside, who knows where this stuff comes from, he muttered, Since we are a family show, we are going to interrupt Pistis. He said a word that none of you would ever even think about saying in the classroom.
It wasn't very loud, but Miss Disdain heard.
Pistis, sit down. After after the test, you're going to the office.
She passed out the test.
Number 1, true or false? Thomas Edison was born in Millen, Ohio.
He had no idea.
Number 2, what was the name of Benjamin Franklin's almanac?
He had no idea. Certainly he would fail this test, crushing the grade he had worked so hard to maintain.
He handed in his test and started down the hallway to face his punishment. He decided to make a quick stop at the restroom. He did his business, washed his hands, and was about to leave when someone entered. It was Omar and his 2 minions.
Well, well, well. If this isn't when you missed us when you pissed us, please be neat and wipe the seat. Grab him!
They grabbed him and dragged him into the stall, gasping and kicking, and proceeded to give him a long, deep, degrading swirly.
When they finally let him go, he was broken. He ran out into the hallway and was about halfway to the office when the bell rang, ending 4th hour. Students filled the hallway and began to laugh.
And there was Pistis, soaking wet, crying, and now running towards the office. When he got there, the principal decided to send him home. He was
too wet and in no condition for school. They would talk about that word another time.
Pistis drove home, showered, and crawled into bed, and awoke a few hours later.
There was no way he could go to the dance now. Before this, it would have taken everything he had to show up at the Spring Valentine's Day banquet dance. Alone, on a chance.
And a long shot.
That his date would meet him there. But not after this. He couldn't face being humiliated twice in one day.
Emotionally exhausted, he went to bed and awoke a few hours later.
And for some reason, he woke with new life. He decided he was going to go to the dance. He had no proof that would support a favorable outcome, no reason to think that she would be there, and be there looking for him.
He was going on a feeling, somewhere deep from inside where only truth is allowed.
He was filled with faith, pistis, the name given to him by his father from his grandfather.
His eyes were fixed on an ever-present mark. His destination was the only thing that mattered.
It was hope that made the path through humiliation not only possible, but worth enduring.
He put on his finest shirt and his father's tie. He stopped at the florist and bought the prettiest rose they had and 2 stems of baby's breath. He arrived at the dance at 6:15.
Alone, he felt the eyes upon him. He heard the laughs of what had happened earlier.
He looked around the gym. It had been transformed into a construction paper Italy. In front of him was the Leaning Tower, made out of paper towel rolls. And to his right, there were students getting their pictures taken in a boat. Is supposedly a gondola?
He watched the clock advance to 6:30.
He turned back towards the entrance.
And there she was, Hope, in a beautiful light blue dress, her hair up and holding one single rose.
They exchanged roses and greetings and went into the gym together.
Hey, you two, get your picture here.
The cameraman called out.
Just hop into the boat from the port side.
Here, Hope, I'll give you a hand.
How did you know which was port side?
Oh, that's easy. See, there are 2 ways to remember this. One is that port has 4 letters and left has 4 letters, but sometimes that's too confusing for me. So I use this. If you go down south and you say port, it will probably sound like fort. And if you go out east and you say fort, it might sound like fart. And if you fart today, people leave, but if you farted yesterday, people left.
She laughed loudly.
And he smiled because he had made her laugh.
And so our story ends with faith, hope, and love on a rowboat on a canal in Venice, on the floor of a gymnasium of Yeoman High.
Well, that's the news from Yeoman High, where all the women are strong, all the men are good-looking, and all the students are above average.
As I went down to the river to pray, studied about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down to the river to pray. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the star me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down, let's go down, come on down. Oh, mothers, let's go down, down to the river to pray. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sinners, let's go down, let's go down, don't you wanna go down? Oh, sinners, let's go down, down to the river to pray. As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Let's give it up for the Musing Sisters, everybody. What a beautiful song of prayer from their album Maids Amusing. Let's give it up for Rhonda, Wanda, Yolanda, and Eunice. Eunice, what happened? Did your parents just get bored with the names that rhyme?
No, Jack. My parents named me after my grandmother. She had just passed.
Oh. I am so sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. No, they probably thought it'd be funny to exclude one sister from the others.
Oh. You don't all exclude her, do you? Well, our next commercial spot celebrates essential workers in the fast food industry. Obviously, arts and music are essential to bringing us hope during this trying time, but if you could have one other essential role, what would it be?
I think I'd be a tech worker or something. Making sure people could still connect to others.
I don't know. Maybe a pilot. I think that'd be fun.
I think I'd make an excellent doctor. I'd like to run a radio show.
Oh. So you'd like to be my host?
I think I could do it.
What's the first thing you'd change?
I'd probably have the host ramble less.
Oh. Good call. Let's move on. Our next segment celebrates one of those poor, unfortunate souls, an English major. Our hearts go out to this poor English major who now lives a life of harsh survival in the woods with a man named Roger. For just the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can help take an English major out of a life of food service or camping with Roger. Please consider giving. The giving boxes are in the back, and our usher is coming by now. Maybe.
The following service announcement is brought to you by the Professional Organization of English Majors.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Boogada Boogada. Could I interest you in one of our jumbo JoJo meals with the half-pound Boogada Boogada burger, the big bucket of fries, and the half-gallon Big Daddy Vanilla Shimmy Shimmy Shake, all for $5.49?
Oh, can I get like a burger and onion rings and a chocolate shake?
You care for the half-pound Boogada Boogada burger?
That's the half pounder, right?
Right.
Oh, maybe I'll have the Mr. Weasel instead.
The hot dog.
Yup.
You care for the Whoopsie Daisy onion rings or the dish antenna or the invasion from outer space?
Invasion from outer space.
Okay, and the vanilla shimmy shimmy shake, you want that in the Big Daddy size, the Mama Yes, the Bubba, the Tis Boombah, or the Tummy Tickler?
Give me a Bubba.
Okay. A Mr. Weasel, a Whoopsie Daisy onion rings, and a Bubba vanilla shimmy shimmy shake. Anything else?
Nah, dude.
For whom is the vanilla shimmy shimmy shake?
For whom?
Yes, for whom? If it is for a child, you get a free puzzle.
It's for my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Your total comes to $4.19.
419. Say, I've always been like curious about when to use like who and when to use like whom in like a sentence, you know? Is there like a rule to that, or do people just do whatever they wanna, dude?
Well, it depends on whether the pronoun is the subject or the object of the clause. You use who if it refers to the subject. For example, the man who shot Liberty Valance, in which case who refers to the subject. And you use whom if it refers to the object.
Cool.
For example, the man whom we recommend, in which case whom refers to the man who is the object of the verb recommend. You understand?
Cool, dude. Thanks.
And here's your Mr. Weasel, your Whoopsie Daisy Onion Rings, and your Bubble Vanilla Shimmy Shimmy Shake. Thank you for coming to Boogada Boogada and have a nice day. Welcome to Boogada Boogada. Could I interest you one of our Jumbo Jojo meals with a half-pound Boogada Boogada burger, the big bucket of fries, and the half-gallon Big Daddy Vanilla Shimmy Shimmy Shake, all for $5.49?
I'd like a split splash fish wrap and onion rings and a wiki wacky fruit smoothie.
You care for the Whoopsie Daisy Onion Rings, or the dish antenna, or the invasion from outer space?
Dish antenna.
Could I interest you in an apple bibbity bobbity?
No thanks.
Okay, your total comes to $4.59.
Okay. Wait, are you an English major?
Yes?
I thought so. Listen, are you familiar with the movie Moby Dick?
I'm more familiar with the book.
I saw the video last night. I mean, what is it with this Captain Ahab? Why does he keep going and going and going after that white whale when it's like really, really obvious the whale isn't like people friendly? It makes no sense.
It's an obsession.
Oh!
Ahab had a run-in with the whale years before, and the whale tore off his leg. And so Ahab has been obsessed with finding the whale and killing it, no matter what.
Oh, so he and the whale had met before? I didn't realize that.
Yes, you might know that if you read the book. But
so that's where the peg leg came from. A whale attack.
Right. And here's your Splish Splash Fish Wrap, your Whoopsie Daisy Onion Rings, and your Wiki Wacky Fruit Smoothie. Thank you for coming to Boogada Boogada and have a nice day. Welcome to Boogada Boogada. Could I interest you in one of our Jumbo Jojo meals with a half-pound Boogada Boogada burger, the big bucket of fries, and the half-gallon Big Daddy Vanilla Shimmy Shimmy Shake, all for $5.49?
No. I'd like you to open up the cash register, take out all the 10s and 20s, stick them in a paper bag, and hand it over. Real quick. And no funny business.
Yes, sir.
And keep your hands where I can see them.
Okay, sir.
And hurry.
I will, sir. Just looking for a paper bag.
Stop stalling. Give me the money. Come on.
I just want to make sure I get it all for you.
Well, you better hand it over quick, or you know who is going to get the big dose of red hot lead.
Well, you see, in that sentence, you know who should really be you know whom, because you know who is the object of give a big dose of red hot lead to. So it should be objective, not nominative case. It is whom you are giving the big dose of red hot lead to. You follow me?
Okay, smart guy. You know whom is gonna get the big dose of red hot lead if you know whom doesn't hurry up and hand over the money.
Well, in the second part of that sentence, you know whom is now the subject. So to be absolutely correct grammatically, it should be...
There. How you like that, you grammar freak?
Welcome to Boogada Boogada. Could I interest you in one of our Jumbo Jojo meals?
Sorry, what? Oh, no, that's okay. See, I'm just looking for this guy I was supposed to meet here. Said to be here at like 2, but like I'm a little late because I like did my hair and everything, and like I'm wondering if you might have seen him. He's sort of tall with kind of dirty blonde hair, and he's wearing blue jeans and glasses. And he's like really hot, and I know him from my English class.
Whom? Somebody whom I know from my English class.
Oh, you know him too?
No. You say someone whom I know from my English class.
That's what I said.
I wish I had more time to explain, but I'm a subject who suddenly became an object.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Professional Organization of English Majors.
It's the wrong one. We are now going to take a quick break. Make sure you get your rhubarb pie, your powdered milk biscuits, and consider adopting a 42-year-old English major. We have some stories that will break your heart. We accept both cash and check. We will be back in 10 minutes.
I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Welcome back. This portion of the show was brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits. Good heavens, they're tasty and expeditious. And now for a thrilling episode of Guy Noir, Private Eye.
They can run away, they can try to hide. He'll find them wherever they are. He can see in the dark, he's a private eye. He's Guy Noir. Where's your old mom? He'll find her. And the friends you used to know. And the beautiful lady you saw on the train in Paris 10 years ago. Nothing is new to the mind of a man. The world has not come far. Nothing surprising since time began. Not to Guy Noir. A dark night in a city that knows how to keep its secrets. But on the 12th floor of the Acme building, one man is still trying to find the answers to life's persistent questions. Guy Noir, Private Eye.
It was one of those October days when the change in the weather makes your left knee ache and reminds you you didn't have any place to go anyways. I was sitting at my desk, studying a food stain on my left pant leg, thinking, if only I bought a new suit. It gave me the confidence I need to go out and earn the money to pay for it. Yeah, Noir here.
Dr. Noir, I need your help. I've got heartburn like you wouldn't
Ma'am, I think you...
I went to my son's last
Look,
night,
ma'am, I think you have...
and my daughter-in-law
Right,
served
but-
roast pork. I never should have touched it.
Ma'am,
She
you
had
have to
so
listen to
much
me.
garlic on everything, you
Right,
know.
but I...
And the meat was pink. It was pink.
I understand, ma'am, but you have...
Is it supposed to be pink?
No,
Is
it's
it?
not, but
Anyways, I need a prescription.
Ma'am, I'm only a detective.
Is this Guy Noir, gastroenterologist?
No, ma'am, you've got the wrong guy.
Guy Noir, GI?
That's P.I., ma'am. I'm a private eye.
That's fine, but what do you recommend for this heartburn?
Maybe try some bicarbonate of soda. I don't know.
How do you spell that?
Spell it the way it sounds, ma'am. I don't have time. Bicarbonate.
Oh, bicarbonate of soda. Why didn't you just say so? Do you accept Medicare?
Nope.
You should. You'd get more patients that
Goodbye,
way.
ma'am. Maybe I ought to get an unlisted number. Nobody calls me anyways. Yeah, come in, door's open. She stepped into my office. A gorgeous number with red hair and eyes to match. She had tears rolling down her cheeks the size of golf balls.
I'm Amber, Mr. Noir. Amber DeVore, and my fish is missing.
Oh, now what kind of fish is it?
A goldfish. A very rare Chinese goldfish. Kevin was his name. I had him for 4 years. He was there for me through my divorce and my therapy and my remarriage. Every time I needed emotional support.
No, I could be wrong, but 4 years is kind of old for goldfish, isn't
When
it?
I came downstairs this morning, he was gone. Tank and all. And there was this ransom note on the breakfast table.
Oh, let's see it. I've got your fish. If you want him back alive, leave $4,769 in unmarked bills on the corner of Wilson and Main. Don't call the police. If I don't get the money by 6 p.m., your precious Kevin's taking a one-way trip down the toilet. Now, easy, ma'am, easy. Let's get a drink and we can think this over.
But I don't drink.
Well, good. I'll have yours too. We locked up the office and I took her over to the 5 spot.
What can I get ya?
2 bourbons, Jimmy, straight up, and put them in 1 glass. Oh, and sarsaparilla for the little lady.
All right, coming right up. You care to try some of these delicious goldfish crackers?
Now, easy, ma'am. It's okay. Just
What
relax.
kind of a monster kidnaps an innocent goldfish?
Now, Amber, I hate to say this, but the person who wrote the note knew your fish's name, Kevin. Now, you didn't happen to label his tank Kevin's Place, did you?
No.
You didn't have a personalized filter?
No.
Monogram rocks?
No.
You didn't tattoo his name on his fin,
Heavens,
did you?
no.
Well, then it's got to be someone you know.
But everyone I know loved Kevin.
Let's see about that. We drove over to a house, a little country cottage with a thatched roof and a stone wall. She had a couple dozen sheep in the front yard. Nice sheep you got there.
Thanks. I got the idea from Martha Stewart Living.
And the hand-woven front doormat, I see.
Yeah, and the doorbell.
Very nice, very nice.
Hi, honey. I'm home.
Her husband was in the living room, reading a seafood cookbook. Right away, it was suspicious.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Noir. I'm Todd.
And I'm Tina, her daughter from her first marriage.
Pleased to meet you both.
Please, come in, have a seat.
Now, I'm here to ask a few questions. Amber tells me you both were very fond of Kevin.
Of course. I loved the little fella. I didn't worship the water he swam in, like she did. But, he was okay, I guess.
Now, sir, I can't help but detect a note of jealousy.
Me jealous of a fish? Please. I have a full, rich life, Mr. Noir. If my wife chooses to lavish her affection on a fish and neglect her family, that's completely up to her.
I had no idea you felt this way, Todd.
She'd give the fish back rubs, if you can believe it. She'd feed him by hand, speck by speck. She took him on all of our vacations. We spent $4,000 last year for Kevin's emergency appendectomy.
Did you kidnap Kevin, Todd?
No. If I'd wanted him gone, I could have just left him on the front lawn. But believe me, the thought occurred to me.
Just then, I glanced at a travel brochure that Tina was reading. Tina?
Don't look at me. I'm just a kid.
Dreaming of a trip to Hawaii, I see.
No.
You've been begging to go, Tina. It's true.
You begged your parents to go, but your mother said no, am I right?
It's true. We couldn't get a fish sitter for Kevin.
And then you saw that brochure, Tina.
What brochure?
7 days, 6 nights at the Wakalea Mumu Manor Resort, including airfare, snorkeling, hula lessons, all-you-can-eat Big Kahuna Luau, and complimentary plastic lei, all for the price of $4,769.
That's the exact amount mentioned in the ransom note.
Is it true, Tina?
No. Maybe I did want to go to Hawaii, but I didn't take him.
It's kind of a big coincidence, isn't it? Unless
what?
Unless that's your computer and printer over there, Amber.
Yeah, that's your computer. You know it is.
Because if I'm not mistaken, this ransom note was printed on that printer, which has a slight defect in the feeder that causes every sheet of paper to crumple slightly on the left side. Do you want me to test it, Amber?
No, I wrote the note.
You did? Mom!
I'm shocked, Amber.
It was for the insurance. Kevin is of an extremely rare breed of goldfish, and he was insured for $750,000. I was going to collect the money and then use it to send Tina to Harvard.
My grades are not even close.
For $750,000, I can endow a place for you. I'm sorry. It was wrong. I know that now.
Where's Kevin, Amber?
He's in the basement. Under the stairs.
Uh-oh.
What?
I put the cat down in the basement this morning, and when she came up, she had fish on her breath
Oh, no.
and was still chewing on a little tail fin.
Oh.
A gold one.
Well, at least we can collect on the insurance after all.
Not so fast, Amber. Is this your insurance policy here?
Yeah, it is.
Check out the fine print.
What's that?
They're not going to pay you. The policy has a cat clause. I left Amber and Todd and Tina to sit in their darkened homes and sob into their hankies for a while. And I headed back over to the 5 spot where my drinks were still waiting for me.
Hiya, guy. You find the fish napper?
Yeah, actually. It was Amber.
Amber?
I told him the whole story. The ransom note, the cat, and the fine print in the policy.
That must, wow, a $750,000 fish? Never knew there was such a thing.
Well, you know, Jimmy, people are willing to pay incredible sums for things you wouldn't even believe. $70,000 for an authentic Chippendale chair, so old the upholstery has fallen to pieces. $100,000 for a bottle of wine, so old it tastes like vinegar. $75,000 for a haircut in the White House.
That must be one good haircut.
Yes, Jimmy, yes, it is.
Well, is there anything else I can get ya?
Well, how about some bicarbonate of soda? I've got some serious heartburn.
Sure, that'll be $75,000.
A dark night in the city that knows how to keep its secrets, where one guy is still trying to find the answers to life's persistent questions. Guy Noir, Private Eye.
Ye fleeting charms of earth, farewell your springs of joy are dry. My soul now seeks another home, a brighter world on high. I'm a long time traveling here below. I'm a long time traveling away from home. I'm a long time traveling here below to lay this body down. Farewell, kind friends whose tender care has long engaged my love. Your fond embrace I now exchange for better friends above. I'm a long time traveling here below. I'm a long time traveling away from home. I'm a long time traveling here below to lay this body down. I'm a long time traveling here below. I'm a long time traveling away from home. I'm a long time traveling here below to lay
Once again, the Musing Sisters, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to chat with you all, but I got word from our producer, who got word from our new owner, that we should keep this show going. So let's move on to another thrilling episode in our serial drama.
Once again, from the hushed reading room of the Herndon County Library, Ruth Harrison, reference librarian.
Oh, yes, and that wonderful seeing people in the library.
You know, it's one of the only good things about hard times. People who used to buy books online, put them on some credit card, buy them all willy-nilly.
Now realize they can read all these books for free
and borrow them from the library. I would agree. That's only been around for a couple of 100 years and is
finally now being rediscovered.
Miss Harrison, we've got a line of people waiting for computer time. People are getting sort of nasty.
And this is the struggle of the librarian. To take all these patrons who've come to use these computers or the toilet or some auto repair manual and redirect them to Jane Austen or Turgenev or Joyce Carol Oates.
You the librarian?
Yes, sir, I am. And how may I help you today?
I'm looking for a book with a lot of pictures. That's about history.
In what particular era of our history are you?
All of it.
World
All of it.
history, American history, or...
All of this, all of that, all of it. Excuse me, my phone. Hello? Yeah, I'm at the library. The library?
Sir, if you could please move lines or...
You say they found a cyst? Really? In the crease? Oh boy, that is something.
Sir, if you could please, there's a sign right there.
See, I thought that red thing was a pimple, not a cyst. Huh. Hard as a rock? Boy, oh boy.
Is there another line I could stand in?
I'm really sorry, sir, but you're not allowed to check out the atlases. They're for the reference room only.
Well, I know that. I just have a question about this one. Whether Australia is a continent
They
or
found
a
a
country.
rash? And green pus, too. Oh. Did they poke it or something? How else would it erupt like that?
Do you mind, sir? Please, just take it outside.
Excuse me. There's some jerk here. Tell me what to do.
I just don't want to hear your conversation.
Are you getting in my face? This jerk is getting in my face.
I just want you to take it outside.
Yeah, I'm here at the library, minding my own business, and this big weasel gets up all in my face and tells me I can't even talk on the phone. I know. This is America. I can talk on the phone if I want.
I don't want to hear you. Nobody does.
Who cares? Too bad.
I think we have a situation here, Miss Harris.
Actually, I think it's good to have some passion in this library. Finally, it's sort of exciting.
You know, on behalf of the considerate people of the world, you're a clueless idiot.
Am I sticking my nose in your business? Am I? I come in here to get a book, and this bigaloo gets all up in my face.
It's a library, you jerk.
I think you're the jerk here, you jerk.
Miss Harrison.
We haven't seen this much excitement since they computerized the card catalogs.
I think this is sort of different.
You know, two can play at this game.
Oh, this is no game, mister. This is real life.
Yeah, it is real life. And I got a cell phone, too. You want me to call somebody?
Go ahead. It's a free country.
I will.
What? No, I said it's a free country. Telling him if he wants to call someone up, go ahead. No skin off my nose.
Hello? Liz? Yeah, listen. I'm just calling you to let you know I'm standing next to the ugliest person I've ever seen.
I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he's got a cyst on his butt, too. Who knows? Could be a pandemic.
When this guy goes to the therapist room, he walks into the room and the therapist says, "Time's up."
Maybe I'll just kick him in the butt and we'll find out, shall we?
When this guy goes camping, the bear builds a fire to keep him away.
The problem is, his face and his butt look pretty much the same.
Last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Last time I saw a face like that, someone was wiping it with toilet paper.
Mister, if you walked into a freak show, they'd hand you a job application.
Mister, you are so ugly, you have to trick or treat over the phone.
Mister, you must have been conceived at home, because that's when the most accidents happen. And when you were born, the doctor took one look at you and slapped your mama.
That's gone too far. You just insulted my mama. Buttface. Meet my palm.
Ah! Why, you slapped me. I slap you.
Ah! Double slap to you.
Ah! Ah! Oh yeah? Snake bite!
Ah! Wet Willie!
I love it! And conflict and passion! This is life, that's what those great literature's about. And isn't about looking at the sky, it's about triumph!
They just busted a computer, Miss
I
Harrison.
get only a computer, who cares? It's for an atlas, sir. The one with all the continents on it.
It was an accident.
Hold on just 1 second. This has gone on too far. You have damaged the library property. Now get out of my library.
But he said...
I don't care what he said. Get out and stay out, and the next time you want to mess with the librarian, I will be here waiting for you both. Where's the acid reading?
Wow, Miss Harrison, you threw those guys out of here like a couple of empty boxes.
Reading imaginative literature, Trent, can build inner strength. It can do more good for you than Tai Chi or Kung Pao.
So, anyway, about Australia,
That's both a country and a continent, Trent.
are you like, for sure?
Trent, look at me. Look at me. I am a reference librarian. I'm trained to know these types of things. Like, for sure. Once again, from the hushed reading room of the Herndon County Library, Ruth Harrison, reference librarian.
Well, I believe in my soul that I'm gonna go home, hallelujah. Moving, move it. When this life is over, I'm gonna stick my sword in the sand. I'm gonna go home to Jesus, over in glory land. I'm moving to the sky, in a heaven, on a high. Well, all my life I wanna know is why my Jesus loved me so. And yes, oh Lord, I'm moving, move up, gonna move up to the sky, to my home on a high. I'm gonna see my loving mother, I'm gonna see my father too. I'm gonna sing with the angels, tell them how I made it through. Well, I'm gonna move on up in glory. Move on up in glory, move on up in glory after a while. One of these mornings, and it won't be very long, gonna look for me down here, and I believe I'll be going home. Gonna walk with my father, settle with the song, tell him all about this world that I've come from. I'm gonna see my loving mother, I'm gonna see my father too. Gonna walk around in glory and spread the news. Well, all my life I wanna know is why my Jesus loved me so. Yes, oh Lord, I'm moving, oh Lord, moving move it. Oh Lord, I'm gonna move and move and move and move and move, move and move and move and move and move, move and move and move and move and move, move and move and move and move and move. Gonna move on up in glory, 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 move on up in glory everywhere.
That was brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits.
It's hard for companies to find qualified people sometimes. You notice this sometimes when you go shopping.
Excuse me, do you work here?
Yeah, why?
I'm looking for a wireless router.
Oh, I think they're over there somewhere. In that stack of boxes?
Do you have ones that are dual band?
I don't know, probably says on the box.
Is there anyone else I can talk to?
The manager.
Where is he? Or she?
You can call her. It's 1-800.
You know what? Never mind. Thanks for your help.
Hey, no problem.
You go to get on a plane and see a woman in a pilot uniform standing behind the check-in desk, reading some sort of manual.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you the pilot?
Yeah? What about it?
You're flying this plane.
Yeah? What's the problem?
Do you think we'll have an on-time departure?
How should I know?
May I ask if that's a flying manual you're reading?
That's none of your business. Get back in line.
It says Aviation for Dummies.
Don't bother me. I've got a lot on my mind.
You go into the doctor's office and there's a diploma on the wall, but it's from a medical school in Antigua. And she comes in wearing a sports shirt, sneakers, and red socks.
Jack, I'm Yolanda, and I'm your cardiologist.
Okay.
I've been looking at your these pictures of your heart, and it looks like you have what we like to call middle polypsis.
I believe it's called a mitral prolapse.
Right. What did I say?
And by the way, that's a thermometer you're writing with, Doctor.
Oh, I wonder where I left my pen.
A rectal thermometer, I believe.
Oh. Ugh.
Of course, I remember back in the day, the job market was very tight. And when they interviewed for the job of host, it came down to me and Maggie.
That's right. We were both there together in her office when she made the decision.
So, Jack, Maggie, out of 3 candidates for the job, we've narrowed the field to you 2.
What happened to the guy in the bunny suit?
He was in a treatment program. They had to take him back.
He seemed like such a nice guy.
He was on Thorazine. Anyway, I need to decide which one of you will be the host of our new show.
What's the name of it again?
It's a live radio variety show called the Lower Class Landowner Residential Wireless Auditory Performance.
Nice. Nice name.
First of all, does either of you sing?
No.
No.
Good. We don't want a singing host.
I never sing.
I've sung, but I'm tapering off.
Good. How about making coffee? Can you make coffee?
Oh, certainly.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. How about after the show? Can you wind microphone cords and lift heavy speakers?
The host won't be whisked away in a limo at the conclusion of the show?
No.
Oh. Well, I've got a tricky back, so I'm not sure I could.
Well, I love winding my cable. Love it. Love lifting.
So Maggie was named host of the Lower Class Landowner Residential Wireless Auditory Performance. and we all went out to celebrate. But then, something happened. She had some sort of psychotic episode. Like we rehearsed. There we go. And I became substitute host, and I'm still here.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. Filling in for her as host week by week. I was a shy person until I began filling in, assumed the position of host, and then came the fame and the glory and the power. The sponsors would never let her come back as host, but rather let her come back as a lowly announcer. Sorry, Maggie. No hard feelings. And may I just say thank goodness for powder milk biscuits. Hit it. Oh, has your family tried a powder milk? Powder milk. Has your family tried a powder milk? Powder milk. Well, if your family's tried them, you know you satisfied them. You're the real hot item powder milk. Powder milk. Has your family tried a powder milk? Powder milk. Has your family tried a powder milk? Powder milk. Well, if your family's tried them, you know you satisfied them with a real high item powder milk. Powder milk. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done.
And now for another episode of that quiet and peaceful Yeoman High.
Well, it's been a pretty uneventful year this year at Yeoman High, my hometown high school out there on the banks of the Rapids. We had an unusually mild winter this year, which was unsettling to many. You see, ironically, winter keeps us warm, buried snugly under a pile of blankets like dormant plants. Safe, motionless, and comfortable. It's spring that so annoyingly calls us to change, so irritatingly calls us towards the struggle and toil of life and growth, when the only thing we want to do is remain just as we are. Just 5 more minutes, please? 5 more minutes?
It's this type of motion, this type of desire toward motion anyway, that Pistis has been wrestling with lately.
Hope, his girlfriend, or I guess ex-girlfriend,
Broke up with him. Hope said,
I just want to be friends.
which of course means,
I just want to be friends with the cute guy I met at science camp and not you.
this need to move on came in the form of last fall's cross-country season, where Pistis received a new name.
He was the only newcomer to the veteran-filled varsity cross-country team, a team that seemed to take very seriously the idea of sacrifice.
Where one is pained for the good of the mass.
It seemed every time Pistis least expected it.
He was being sacrificed for the humor of the rest of the team.
On one of the first practice runs of the season, Peter, the team captain, told everyone to
close their eyes and visualize a successful race.
Passionately attempting to follow the guidance of his team captain, Pistis closed his eyes.
Well, another member of the team tied Pistis' shoelaces together.
And when Peter yelled,
Now run!
Pistis made it one half step before crashing flat on his face, while the others around him fell with laughter. Maybe one of the more memorable events of the season is when they were on one of their long runs through the woods, when Pistis suddenly realized
he wasn't gonna make it.
He was in excellent running conditions. That wasn't the problem.
The problem was the triple order of double-dipped chicken fingers and the tall mug of hot apple cider he had for lunch.
And Pistis knew, and knew absolutely, that within 2 minutes he had to TCB.
Take care of business, if you know what I mean.
He was a little embarrassed to ask his teammates what he should do, but knowing that
time was ticking and his bowels were percolating, he bit the bullet and asked Sam Watson for some advice.
Sam Watson suggested that Pistis go up the ridge, find a tree, TCB, and meet up with us later. Well, having no alternative choice, Pistis instantly turned off the trail, went up the ridge, found a tree, and dug himself a deep hole. Now, there is something that y'all should know about Sam Watson, and that is that boy's a snake in the grass.
He knew that there was full well a trail on the other side of that ridge, and that the girls' cross-country team would be on it.
And sure enough, after Pistis finished digging his hole and assumed his position,
He heard giggling. At first a bit reserved, and then fully unrestrained as he realized he was caught with his pants at his ankles, knees above his posterior, and all four of his cheeks red with embarrassment.
it was from this uncovered event that Pistis was donned with his new nickname, Squatty.
Later it became shortened to Squats, and the embellished to Sir Squats-a-lot. Somehow he even became registered in the school run as Ben Dover.
And yet, most people would trade any of those names for his actual name, which is Pistis.
However, Pistis really loves his name. It was given to him by his father from his grandfather, a man for whom he has the highest respect. And in Greek, his name means faith.
But Pistis is a weird word. And although after stating his sentiment towards his name, it should also be said that his name has cost him his pride quite a few times. I think I've told some of you this before, but a few years ago, Pistis left class to go use the bathroom.
And from this experience, he learned that one should never leave class to use the bathroom. Only go at break and at noon.
But he left class to go use the bathroom.
He took care of his business, and as he was stepping out of the stall,
Omar and his ugly-faced gang came in. They roughed Pistis up before dragging him, gasping and kicking in the stall, and proceeded to give him a long, deep, degrading swirly. As they held his head in the stool water, he pompously proclaimed,
If you missed us when you pissed us, please be neat and wipe the seat.
Now, done. After hearing these stories about Pistis, a few of you might begin to feel sorry for him, but I assure you that you should not. Through all of this, he is beginning to grow and change, and if he had the maturity of introspection, he might realize that these are some of the chief jewels of his young life.
now in spring, after a winter of stagnancy, Pistis longs to revive that life and energy and motion that began in him in the red and gold of last autumn, where seeds from trees and flowers fell to the earth.
Now in spring, Pistis longs to rise from his wintry bed, toss off the blankets that are wrapped about, and loudly proclaim,
I'm Lazarus, come from the dead, come to tell you all, I shall tell you all.
Pistis was a little too into abstract poetry. It was with these spring feelings that Pistis decided to take the winter off and begin running again. Pistis woke instantly when his alarm clock sounded.
It was 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. He rose, went to the bathroom, and brushed his teeth. He then put on a t-shirt and his running shorts and shoes. He was quiet as he passed by his sister's bedroom on his way towards the stairs.
A year ago, even 6 months ago, he would have bounded down the hallway in hopes of waking her up, or worse, because he hadn't been thinking of her at all at the time. He quietly descended the stairs and noticed his father reading the paper. Knowing how his father relished the stillness of a Saturday morning, he offered a quiet, goofy wave and a silly smile that only an adolescent could make. He exited the door. It was a crisp morning.
Pistis warmth as he stretched himself against the maple tree in the front yard before beginning his jog.
He began at his usual pace, and after about 10 minutes of jogging, he joined a path that went through a cemetery and then beside a creek that was high and running quickly with the season's rain. After about a mile or so, he joined a narrow path that went through the woods.
This was a path that he had discovered long ago, and other than some initial blackberry bushes to navigate, it was a pretty nice path.
He wound through the woods, making his way around those bushes before coming back across to the creek, where he'd have to cross a makeshift bridge made out of fallen trees. He had done this trail many times before, so he took in the crude bridge, little thought as he took it in his stride.
Yet unexpectedly, his foot slipped, and he became startlingly aware of the awful daring in a moment's surrender as his head struck one of the logs, dizzying his mind.
When his mind focused, he realized he was wedged between the sunken trees. The sky appeared altered as he looked through the water.
He struggled with all his might until he realized he could not free himself from the wood and the water. He struggled until there was little, less, nothing.
Only the sounds of the pure water pouring over the dead boy's face.
Pistis awoke wet from the sweat of his dream as his alarm clock sounded. It was 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. He rose, went to the bathroom, and brushed his teeth. Then put on a t-shirt and his running shorts and shoes.
He quietly descended the stairs and offered his father a quiet, goofy wave as he exited the house into a crisp morning.
Yet the sun offered him warmth as he stretched himself against the maple tree in the front yard before beginning his jog. For the first time of the spring, he noticed his mother's flower bed, bursting forth from its wintry grave, offering the world a sign of the transcendent and descent of the sublime.
He began at his usual pace, and after about 10 minutes of jogging, his route led him through a cemetery and then beside a creek that was high and running quickly with the season's rain. He joined a narrow path that wound through the woods where he'd have to cross over the makeshift bridge like he had so many times before. And then, seemingly, for no reason, he stopped, taking in the stillness of a new morning.
His mind began to turn over the events of the past year. He thought about his own insecurities and failures, his desire for change, and his inability to take action. And in that moment, he turned about face.
As if someone had grabbed him by the very arteries of his heart, causing him to turn around, his arms flailing out. And yet, as he was being turned, he felt
a sense of immense joy and realized he would have chosen to turn had he realized he had been presented with a choice.
And there he stood with his arms outstretched in the middle of the wood.
Like a martyr before a mark.
Like a person before all people.
Like a silly goof before a noble queen.
Like an undeserving yet fully grateful recipient of the full love of God the Father. Without knowing what else to do, he worshipfully joined his voice to the sounds of the new rustling trees in the wind.
He could hear hope singing.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me home.
And Hope took his hand.
Hey.
Hey, Hope, you're back?
His hope was back, but hope was no longer a girl, a tangible item he could possess. It was a certain feeling that life was worth it and even the pain has meaning.
When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Well, that's news from Yeoman High, where all the women are strong, all the men are good-looking, and all the students are above average.
That episode of Yeoman High was brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits. Good heavens, they're tasty and expeditious.
They sure are, Maggie. And that's all, folks. Make sure to keep your feet on the ground, your view up high, pray for rain, keep the humor dry, and eat those powder milk biscuits.
In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to street on that beautiful shore.
We are now going to introduce our band. On percussion, we have Jack Lanning and Nathan Jenkins.
On vocals, we have Landon Pasma.
On bass guitar, we have Luke Piersma.
On keyboard, we have Savoy Bryce and Catherine Portman.
On regular guitar, we have Kyle Youngs.
On fiddle, we have Ellie Gonzalez.
On the other cool string instrument, we have Gwyneth Eisman.
And on vocals on guitar, we have Joy Adama.
We'd also like to thank our music sisters, Annika, Abby, Anna Maria, and Madeline.
As well, we'd like to thank our tech crew.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Maggie.
And this has been the Yeoman Home Radio Show.
All the money that I spent it in good company, and all the harm that I've done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades that I've had, are sorry for my going away, and all the sweethearts that I've had would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and I'll softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy.